Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited, not only because it's Friday and we are going to have a true crime story, but I got Chili's. I got curbside pickup and I'm so excited for this. Today's story is so crazy. It is so crazy. I can't wait to get into it. I'm gonna get everything set up. We're gonna taste everything and then we'll get started in our story. If you love true crime, if you love food, give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Let's get started. So this is my favorite appetizer to get at Chili's. This is the big bites, even though they're small sliders. These are honey chipotle, they call them crispers. And then these are Southwest egg rolls, and they have a couple of different dipping sauces. So let's just get it set up and get into it. These egg rolls are so good. And these typically come with some sort of like zesty sauce, but all I have is just a ton of ranch. That's okay. Here are the sliders. They look so simple, you guys, but man, are they full of flavor. So juicy and so delicious. Okay, this honey chipotle sauce, I'm telling you, ooh, it's so good. How's everybody doing? Hope you all are having a great Friday. Did you get paid today? Gotta love payday. Look at this. Ooh. Yum. Dip it in ranch. Oh, it's so good. Let me not get greedy. Let's try the Southwest egg roll. Ooh, I can hear that, how crispy that is already. Mm. We have chicken and cheese and peppers and spinach, some type of zesty sauce. Oh my. Ooh, our sliders have chopped up bacon and onion, and then cheese, and our patty, of course. So here's that guy. It has that really good, like, flame broiled flavor. Okay, last bite. It's so nice to crave something and then just be able to go out and get it. One of the most satisfying feelings. Okay, and of course I have my water. Today we're going to discuss the abduction and the murder of a 6-year-old little Scottish girl, Alicia McPhail. She was killed by a 16-year-old boy. This story is so interesting to me. This happened in 2018, so not very long ago. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start with a background with each kid. So this takes place in Scotland, right? Alicia was born in October of 2011, and she lived with her mother, Georgina. And her teachers described her as being a very happy child, very smiley. She loved writing. She really loved gymnastics and also cake baking. My kind of kid. Alicia's parents, Georgina and Robert, separated when Alicia was only 3 years old. Robert lives with his parents and his girlfriend, Tony. Alicia would visit her father and her grandparents every other weekend. Now, some background on Aaron. Aaron Campbell was a 16-year-old boy who committed this abduction and murder. He was born May 2012, and his upbringing included some physical and emotional mental abuse. Isn't that how it always goes? I'm telling you, these people with all these problems always have a bad childhood. Be good to your kids. I can't say that enough. Don't neglect them and abuse them. They end up being killers. Aaron had an alcoholic mother whom he argued with regularly, and they just had a pretty bad relationship, let's just say that. Alcoholic mom, dad's not in the picture. It doesn't say who abused him physically and mentally, but I'm assuming it's his mom, considering it didn't say anything about his dad. I couldn't find anything about his dad. Aaron was a kid who was pretty much out of control. He would have parties regularly where he would get drunk. He had a history of harming himself and just being depressed. But he also had a side to him where he was fit and active. He absolutely loved gaming. That was his passion. And he even had his own YouTube channel where he would upload gaming videos. I don't know which one I like better. This is like crispy and then like so melty and cheesy inside. It's like the perfect anytime snack. I'm food drunk right now. At age 15, Aaron felt like doing something excessive, like raping somebody, and he shared this thought with somebody on Facebook. He sent a message saying that he would love to kill somebody for the life experience of it. He also liked to start fires, and once he got caught, he was sent to a rehabilitation center. Now, Aaron was acquainted with Robert and Tony, Alicia's dad and his girlfriend. He would buy marijuana from them, and he claims he even had a casual sexual relationship with Tony, the girlfriend. Okay, this is where things start getting crazy. July 1st, 2018, Aaron decided to have a house party, and he invited 15 of his friends. They were all drinking and doing all kinds of things that teenagers are not supposed to be doing. The party ended up ending before midnight. I'm assuming his mom broke it up because he ended up having a big argument with his mom, and he ended up staying in his room. One of Aaron's friends came back to his house after the party was over and found him just lying in bed and suicidal. The friend was very concerned for Aaron, so he offered to stay. I say he, I don't know if it was male or female. But the friend offered to stay and hang around and stay the night just to make sure he was okay. He said no, he was just feeling down because he had a fight with his mom. He would actually rather go out and find some marijuana and get high. So Aaron started calling his friends and people he knew to see who would sell him his marijuana, and nobody was answering. Robert happened to live just 5 minutes down the street. Aaron tried calling Tony's phone, but she didn't answer. So at this point, it's like 2 a.m. People are probably sleeping. So Aaron's like, I'm just gonna get a kitchen knife and I'm gonna walk over to their house and I'm going to rob them for their weed. So he grabs the knife, he walks over to the house, the door's unlocked. In this part of Scotland, it's pretty common for the key to stay in the front door, it said. If you're from Scotland or you know anything about that, let me know why they do that. That's very interesting to me. So as he enters the home, the first door he sees is Alicia's. It's the closest to the front door. He walks into her bedroom, he sees her sleeping, and he saw an opportunity. Later on, he's going to confess and say, the moment I saw her, I wanted to kill her. Unquote, quote unquote. So he picks Alicia up from her bed and he carries her out the front door unnoticed. So he's carried Alicia out of the house and she wakes up and she asks him, who are you? He said, I know your dad and I'm going to take you back home. Don't worry. And he did not take her back home. He took her to a secluded area and he removed her clothing, he raped her, and then he killed her by smothering her. After he smothered her, he took off his clothes, threw them into the sea, went home, took a shower, went to bed. I can't tell you guys how good this is. I can't tell you. So the next morning, the grandfather goes downstairs and he goes to Alicia's room to check on her, and she's not there. So he starts looking around the house. He wakes up the grandmother. The whole house is up. Everybody's looking for Alicia. Her bike is still in the garden. She's never run away before, so they start to get really worried. The grandmother then calls the police, and the rest of the family goes out into the neighborhood and starts knocking on doors, letting everybody know what's going on. The community gets involved. Everybody starts looking for Alicia. They're spreading the word of her disappearance. And the grandmother posts on Facebook that her granddaughter is missing, put her picture up. If you've seen her, contact this number, you know, that sort of thing. And then Tony notices the missed calls from Aaron. She calls him back and he doesn't answer. But later on that morning, Aaron texts her back and said, "Oh, I'm sure you'll find her. I'm sure she didn't go too far." Not really too concerned about Alicia being missing. All the neighbors in the community, everybody's searching the neighborhood. The police send a helicopter. Even the Coast Guard volunteered. And the Coast Guard actually found the knife, the kitchen knife that Aaron left on the shore side. And then a man, oh my gosh, you guys. One of the men in the community saw the grandmother's Facebook post and the picture of Alicia, and he's the one that discovered her body in a wooded area, 15 minutes away from her house. He calls the police, and there they found her naked, lifeless body. Poor Georgina, you guys, Alicia's mom, before she could be escorted to the area where Robert was living, she finds out of her daughter's murder via Facebook. Can you imagine? I would die. An examination and autopsy were conducted the next day, and they found that she had 114 injuries all over her body. Some of them were caused before her death, some were caused by vegetation in the area, like she was found in the woods. So they discovered that her genitals had catastrophic injuries. Oh, I felt so bad. Police opened up a murder investigation the very next day. Now, Jeanette is the mother of Aaron, and she initially was helping search for little Alicia. And she went home to check her surveillance that she had at the house, and she saw that Aaron left the house, came back, left and came back during the time of Alicia's disappearance. And so, of course, she questioned him. He was just saying that he went out to get stoned and had nothing to do with the disappearance of this little girl. Mom believed him, so she gave up the surveillance to authorities, so not to incriminate her son, but to reassure them that he was innocent and that there was nothing to hide. She didn't want the cops being suspicious, but little did she know. Aaron was interviewed by a couple of different authorities and cooperated fully with all of the questions. He showed no sense of worry or intimidation. At the time, they had no reason to suspect he would be the killer. But with all the collected evidence, the next day they arrested him for suspicion of the abduction, rape, and murder of Alicia. He was taken into the police station, and when authorities were questioning him, he answered no comment to every question. They gathered all the evidence and information they needed, so he got charged the next day for murder, rape, and abduction. I'm gonna get cleaned up, and then we're gonna talk about the trial, because this is where a lot of details come into play, and this gets really interesting. 1 second. In December of 2018, Aaron entered a plea of not guilty, and then the trial began in February of 2019. Video surveillance of Aaron leaving to and from the house that his mother provided was shared in court, along with other video clips and such that the community had provided as well. Other people had surveillance and seen him walking down the shoreline carrying something. The pathologist shared with the court that Alicia's feet were clean and had no injuries, as if she were carried. There was DNA, there was Aaron's clothing fibers that were found on Alicia's body. And Aaron's mom confirmed that not only the kitchen knife was hers, but that all of the clothing articles found on the shore were actually Aaron's. So he's got everything working against him right now. He's caught. He is caught. But does he admit to it? No. Listen to what this little butthead says. Oh, I should mention that a cyber crime expert shared with the court that Aaron Googled how to find DNA, how police find DNA on his phone. You know, that's so crazy. I look up some crazy stuff on Google, like just because I'm curious and it has nothing that pertains to my life. Be careful what you Google, because if police ever have to go through your phone and find things and they found you looking up how to create a bomb at 2 a.m., and downtown blows up for some reason, stop looking up crazy stuff on Google. You might get charged for something, so just don't do it, okay? Also, a 16-year-old girl testified that Aaron submitted a Snapchat video to about 25 people, and it was him saying, "Found the guy who done it." So anyway, Aaron was trying to lie and say that Robert's girlfriend, Toni, is the one who killed Alicia. He fabricated this story about how she was jealous of Robert and Alicia's relationship and she just wanted to get rid of her. So Aaron is saying that he and Toni went into the garage that night and had sex, and that Toni wanted to frame him, so she took his semen from the condom and poured it on Alicia's body. But Toni had testified how much she loved Alicia and that they had a great relationship. The grandparents even testified, saying that the relationship between Toni and Alicia was very good and Toni loved her to pieces. So Aaron's story went to crap. Aaron answered the questions in the court for 2 hours, completely unfazed, full composure, just well-spoken and not intimidated whatsoever. He denied ever knowing Alicia and denied murdering her by saying, quote, "Absolutely not, I could never," unquote. The trial lasted 9 days and the jury deliberated for about 3 hours before giving their guilty verdict. Aaron was sentenced March 21st of 2019. He had confessed to the crime in detail. He told his psychologist and his social worker that he was quite pleased with the murder. He even said that it took everything he had to stop laughing multiple different times during the trial. His medical reports state that Aaron continued to experience thoughts about killing and having sex with children and also sex with dead bodies, necrophilia. He was given a life sentence with a minimum of 27 years. Georgina was really upset. When he was given the sentence, she stood up and she was screaming obscenities at Aaron, and she was saying that a life sentence is a life sentence. He needs to rot in there. He shouldn't have any type of privilege. I mean, I can just imagine what the mother was feeling like, to have to look at the person who mutilated your daughter like that and then just has this attitude of, I was quite pleased with it. Like, oh my gosh, I'd be in jail next. That would take a lot of composure to just sit through something like that. You know what I mean? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy your weekend. You guys have a great rest of your day. I will see you in the next video. Oh yeah, and I'm going to be posting on my second channel on Sunday. So if you guys are subscribed to my second channel, you will have a new video to watch. I didn't post anything for the past 2 weeks, but I'm on top of it now. You're going to get a video. I'll see you guys then. Bye.